What is up, Team Happy and Fit? Welcome to Tuesday's call. I cannot believe it's almost December. Like, what in the actual heck is going on? Secret Santa, if you signed up for that, make sure you check your email. You have two separate ones because I am not patient. And Lisa was figuring it out for me, but then in the meantime of her figuring it out, I started a new thing. So we're doing the drawnames.com one. All you have to do is accept it, and then we'll get our Secret Santa. I'll let you know if you're having trouble with it because I can see who's accepted it and who is not. So that is announcement number one. Announcement number two is I made a Transform 20 sneak peek. I am so excited about this. This is for you. This is for family members. This is for current challengers. This is for potential challengers. This is with follow-ups. And you just get them in there. I just got done making a video that is super mediocre, and I might redo it, but sometimes done is better than perfect, right? I used to record so many videos trying to perfect it, and what I have found is that just get it done. Your done feels good. So I got one done. I'm gonna upload that. Honestly, just tag them under that. I have all of the pricing in there, the options to get started, why I think they should get started joining Team Happy and Fit, and what it would look like for them to get started. And then we'll utilize that until January 13th. Like, we will use that sneak peek all the way up until that point. I'm also going to create a challenge group specifically for Transform 20. I am so stoked about that. That is my second announcement. Oh, I know. For Christmas, will you invest in my business? Say that to a family member. What do you want for Christmas this year? If you were to help invest in my business, that would be everything, right? As I go through my notes, you guys, the first three people I wrote down, I have it, proof, my mom, Eric, and my best friend, Hannah, in Milwaukee. Those were the three people I wrote down to help get started with Shakeology, because I wanted to get my Shakeology covered. I wanted to learn how to help my first three people, and that is what I did. So in the meantime, we're gonna move it over to Morgan Brill. Has hit Success Club for 36 months in a row. That is powerhouse. That's insane. It's not like she just wakes up and it's the easiest thing to do. Success Club is helping three people get started the way you got started. So with a challenge pack, back then, 36 months ago, we didn't have BOD, we had DVDs. And so it'd either be with a program in Shakeology. Now there's so many different options with 2B Mindset, whatever, but she's always helped someone either with some kind of Shakeology and BOD and maybe Beach Bars, Performance Line, whatever. And she is a busy wife, a new mom. So she did this all throughout pregnancy. She's done that post-pregnancy. She did that being a nurse educator, traveling, all these things. 3 straight years of Success Club. So Morgan, we would love to hear from you tonight. I know that you said you would share some things, but I'm going to ask you questions after you do that.
Sure. I'm good with that. Awesome. Cool. So thanks guys for having me. It's been nuts. I couldn't believe last month, I actually didn't even realize it had been 3 years until Julianne asked me in September, and it was 33 months, I think. She was like, aren't you close to 3 years? And I was like, I don't know. And I think that's proof, as I was reflecting on hitting this goal, that Success Club is so important, but it just needs to be a non-negotiable and automatic for you. That it's the bread and butter of this business. It helps you measure your continuous growth, and it helps show also how you adapt to this business, because this business and me as a coach is not the same as it was 3 years ago. And I've had so much personal growth, and my business has grown along with me. So I tried to summarize. I hope it comes across in a logical, sensical manner, but I just bullet pointed some things that I wanted to talk with you guys about. And there was one word that was just ringing in my head the whole time. And every point that I wanted to make you guys came back to one core word. And I want you to write this down, and I want you to breathe it and believe it and I want you to grow into this, it's consistency. That is 36 months of Success Club in a nutshell, is consistency. And let me tell you, consistency in what? Okay, and this would be some good things to take notes on, or just maybe even go through a series of gut checks or picking your own brain if you do these things, or if you are consistent with these things. So I think the first thing is, since I decided to be a coach 3 years ago, I've posted on social media every single day. I have not missed one day in 3 years, whether it's sharing on my Instagram stories or posting on Facebook, or Snapchat was super popular, and that was a total phase. I don't know if you guys still use Snapchat. If you do, great. It wasn't my jam. I used it for a little while, and now it's all on Instagram. I went through Snapchat phase when I was refusing to use Instagram, and then Instagram just took off, and then I had to give up Snapchat because it made more sense. But I showed up in some way every single day, sharing my personal journey. I have not missed a shake in 3.5 years, right? I have not consistently stopped working out except for when the doctor told me I had to after I had a baby. And I talked about that all the time, how it killed me. I didn't love every workout. I didn't love every meal that I said no to something that was a short-term satisfaction. But I consistently showed up to my self-care journey. And if I had nothing else to post on social media that day that made sense, that was deeper, that helped people reflect, and that was a call to action, I shared exactly what day of what program I was on. Because I was showing up for that program in order. I was showing up for that program as much as I could. And I think I even shared through 80-Day Obsession that I finished 80-Day Obsession in like 86 days. I was on like 86 out of 80 or something like that. I don't remember what I shared at the end, but I came up with a way to share my journey every single day, whether it was simple or whether it was something to draw people in. And that creates reliability and trust. I want you to write down the word trust, because what does consistency build? Trust. When you grow your network, people don't know you. They have no clue who you are. They don't know what you stand for. They think you are just going to message them some sort of script. They think you're going to want to sell them something. And that's not the truth. You want to plug them into this lifestyle that you're on fire to share about. But they have to trust you first. We don't sell handbags. We don't sell makeup. We don't sell candles. Those people grow their networks too all the time, right? And we run across those people. But when you consistently show up with your heart and show self-care, people know exactly who you are really quickly. And they know exactly who you are really quickly because you and your social media is a magazine in front of what you stand for. I've never shared spammy posts that were like, repost this for this giveaway, or repost that for that giveaway, or something that went against the message that I was trying to get across. Some really negative post because I was having a super crappy day. I didn't share that. I talked about how I grew from that. I didn't complain. I attracted people because of my vibe, and I continue to attract people because of my vibe, because that's what I stand for. The minute you're inconsistent, you're non-existent. You hear that? The minute you're inconsistent, you're non-existent to somebody. If they see something that goes against what you say you stand for, you've lost that trust and reliability. And that is the foundation of the people that I talk to. You don't get someone to be vulnerable with you and share their goals so you can connect them with the tools that help you hit Success Club without building that relationship first. I talked about Beachbody all the time, whether directly or indirectly. I didn't walk around saying Shakeology, Shakeology, Shakeology in my life, but I carry my Shakeology water cup everywhere. I don't have to talk about it. I'm just getting hydrated, but I be about it by carrying that around. I don't post pictures of the containers, but I post pictures of me using the products, and I talk about how they help me, right? I talk about Beachbody even when it's awkward. Like, I had a customer just talk about gas with me last night, and I talked about how Shakeology has digestive enzymes in it and fiber, and it actually is meant to have you fart and poop because that clears out all the toxins. So like I'm awkward. I'm myself. I use my knowledge. Talking about poop isn't weird because I'm a nurse. So like we play and poop for fun some days, it feels like. But I talk about it when I'm happy. I talk about it when I'm sad because it's the total life solution. Like, for example, I asked my reach tonight to get in the car with me because that's a place that I change. And it's a place that I grow because I chose to stop listening to the radio a long time ago. And I either sit in my car in silence because that creates tension where I reflect on the things I need to so I'm a better person when I get home, or I listen to personal development in the car. And that stretches my mind and that helps me grow as a person. Listening to Kiss FM in the morning doesn't help me grow as a person. But sitting there in silence and praying on my way to work sure does, or helps me focus on being present at work and present at home. That's something that Beachbody has changed for me, and people need to know that. So there's always something to consistently share about. And me sharing things like that also helps people have a lens into my life and exactly who I am, exactly who I stand for, what I stand for, and that they're going to get the real me with their investment. Because that's also what makes us different. And that's also what I talk about a lot is this challenge pack that you're getting. It's going to change your life, and I'm going to help be there every step of the way, and that's so exciting for me. I'm not just going to sell you something and then say, go have fun with it. I hope you know how to use it. I send them a follow-up email 5 minutes within their purchase whenever I see their message that they've purchased, because I want them to know that they're supported from the very first minute, and then I put them in my community group. So that way they can start talking about it in their lives. They can start having their lives impacted. And then you start getting things like referrals where people are like, hey, this is my friend. I think she'd really benefit from it too. Or when people start saying that, you can start talking the coach opportunity with them. Look at how you're sharing this already. You're a natural. Come be on my team. So through that social media, it gives you so many avenues to continue to talk about this in every way or every opportunity to share, even if it's the small things, even if it's the small details on how this has changed your life. And then 2 more things. Is that cool, Julianne? 2 more things? Okay. Follow up. That's another huge word is follow up. Go back to those people. You have to keep a list, whether it's organizing things in your inbox or flagging things on Instagram or making groups of friends you recently added or moving people into their own newsfeed on Instagram so you can start following them and interacting with them. And you have to send the first invite for them to say no, for them to start watching you. So the second time you ask them, they say yes. It's like putting Olivia down to bed, my daughter. You lay her down the first time, her eyes pop open. She looks at you, she smiles, and she's like, no, Mom, I ain't going to bed. You pick her up, you snuggle her a little more, you build that trusting relationship, you lay her down the second time, and she's sound asleep. It's like a customer, right? So there's my analogy. My husband's laughing at me over there. But there has to be a first no for you to break through that layer and show them that you're going to continue to be reliable. You're going to continue to be consistent. They can trust you. So they're going to invest in themselves through you. I've had 5 customers the last 2 months come to me from a different coach, and I made them go tell that coach that they were coming to me because I kept showing up and they want what I had. Because I didn't stop, because their coach was being inconsistent or their coach quit. 3 of the people came from people who quit. And man, I don't quit on this. And people know that about me and they see that about me, and I build that reputation that people can come to me to get taken care of. And I'm not saying that because I'm being boastful or bold. I've worked hard the last 3 years to build that persona and to be that person and to get people results and to dive into their lives and to make it about them. And that's my last point is I follow up, and when they're ready, I consistently make it about them. This isn't about what it's going to do for me. This isn't about hitting Success Club. They have no idea. That's a background thing. That's just a measure of my own growth as a coach. That's all Success Club is. But it's about a person, and it's about their life. And when you get to talking about them, and then not feeling weird, getting over feeling weird by saying, hey, I've drank Shakeology every day for the last 3.5 years and you got to do it. It makes me feel incredible. How many of you can just rattle it off like that or send a voice message that's like, hey, I've drank this superfood shake. Lisa and I were working on this the other day, actually. There was someone who blended up celery because she was looking for something to healthily replace a meal. And she found her on Instagram. And I was like, you blend up celery. Like Shakeology. People say Shakeology is gross and people blend up celery and put lemon in it. Gross, right? They need Shakeology in their lives. They need nutrient-dense food. So Lisa and I were like, bam, there, send the message. But so make it about them. Hey, sister, I used to try to find things like that too. That would be a healthy meal replacement. And then I found Shakeology. Would you like more info about it? I've been drinking it every day for the last 3.5 years. And I think it will really one up that celery smoothie you're drinking or make a joke out of it or whatever. I forget what we said, but it was easy just to like roll it off the tongue because I consistently talk about it and I am about it and I be about it. So those are the tips that I came up with, Jules.
So good. Literally, I took a full page of notes.
Well, thank you.
So good. And I do like, it's so fun to hear your confidence. I mean, you've been in this with me for so long, and Morgan started as a challenger in one of my challenge groups, actually. And I'm just so grateful you said yes to this. Like, I think the team is the ultimate goal, and we've become such good friends because of this, and I am so grateful. So to hear your confidence, and you've hit 3 years of Success Club, because you were doing this just for your journey, what switched that you wanted to make this about helping other people? Like, so, you know, not necessarily going from straight to discount coach to a working coach. It's just more of like, what in your mind you were like, I want to make this a goal to help 3 people a month after you're still working on yourself 3 years ago. What was that transition like? And what did you do to get to Success Club that first month?
Oh man. So I was super awkward about it first. I always knew from the minute I signed up that I wanted to help other people, but I wanted to make it about myself first because I didn't believe I could help other people. So I didn't hit Success Club. Actually, I signed up August 31st, whatever 3 years ago is, 2015. And I didn't hit Success Club until December. So I was a slow grower. I didn't know how to share. I shared a video of me dancing with a huge, doing size, mind you, like so awkward with all my long limbs and whatever, with this big like ad right over my face. It said like wondershare.com or something. And I still posted a video of me dancing. And I think that was the breakthrough moment. Julianne, you were just like, share it because you're going to help someone. Morgan, get over yourself. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to share it because I don't care what other people think anymore. And I'm going to stop caring what other people think so I can effectively help other people, including myself. And I think that was like my click moment. I think that was like October-ish of me starting to share and like dabble in like, I'm doing these groups. Look at the shake I drink. Like, I was really awkward about it at first, but I feel like
we could share a Shakeology cup 3 years ago and people would be like, what is that? And now like that doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's
so I think that was my flip switch.
So cool. I don't know if you guys caught this, but I signed up in May 2014. Morgan signed up in August 2015. So that's more than a year after I had signed up and I got a golden coach. That took a lot of no's from her. That took a lot of trust building with her. And the consistency in that is that I showed up every day too. And that is everything Morgan's telling you to do in order to build trust with other people. So I had to stick this out in order to see fruit prosper later on. So it's not like you sign up and you are getting these amazing coaches and amazing challengers and all this stuff. It's just trusting the compound effect that it'll happen because it's naturally changing your life. How do you deal with negative people?
In a variety of ways. It depends what they're negative about or how they're being negative. Like negative, like, no, I'd never try this, or like they get the product and then they're negative. Or what do you mean by like or just like negative influence in my life?
I'm assuming it could be many things, like, how do I know you? Stop messaging me. Like someone being okay, how about this? Someone joined Morgan and said, you didn't tell me that the 3-day refresh was going to taste like donkey ass. So what do you do when someone says something like that?
I forget what I said to her. I don't even, should I look it up quick? Man, that's not my tribe is the first thing I said in my head. Like, I don't need people like that in my life, and I would never, ever, ever talk to someone that way. And I think I've just gotten to the point with the amount of personal development I've done through the encouragement of Julianne. I needed her to believe in me before I could believe in myself, and she continued to show up. So that's why I continued to show up. That personal development significantly helped me grow into who I was meant to be. I think one of the first, I don't even remember who it is now, but they talk about your circle of influence and pick 5 people, and those are the people whose opinions should count. So I have my circle of influence. I know who that is. And if you are going to hate on me and you don't even know me, I share with integrity, and I know that, so I don't care what you have to say. And that's so my circle of influence. And then I remind myself that my brain is always going to remember the one negative thing someone says about me versus the 1,000 positive things everyone else has to say about me. And just because I ask, I know what this has done for me. So I'm going to share it whether you're going to listen to me or not. And it's like, if you're not going to listen to me, sorry, like this is going to change your life. And if you are going to listen to me, wonderful, I'm going to change your life and I'm going to help you do that. So I think it really is just evaluating who your circle of influence is. And like, if you're sharing with a stranger and they say no, or they treat you differently, like that's fine. You don't need that relationship in your life then. If you continue to show up with the vibe that you want, those are the people that you're going to attract. And if you attract a one-off, you can say goodbye really easily. Bless and release, Julianne says, right? Like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I could help you feel differently and live a happy life, but we're going to move on now.
I think about that too, like none of our posts are negative, and we're never complaining about politics. We're never complaining about other people. I'm not talking about the horrible traffic here in SoCal. I'm not talking about how someone screwed me over. I'm not talking about I'm always just sharing if something, I remember sharing a story about how my car got broken into and how it made me more sad for that person than for me, because I can recover from something like that. But someone needing to go steal from others, like their heart has to be in a really hard place. And that's the difference versus like, why does this always happen? Like, people are awful. Like, it's the way you share your story that matters. And I get unfriended all the time and knows all the time. And I'm like, I literally put out like very optimistic posts. And if people can't handle that, that's on them. They must hate positivity. And so I've had people say, I've deleted you because you're too positive. And then they come back and follow me again, where I'm like, okay, I don't really know how to react to that. So if you follow Morgan, like she just shares her story. And so I think initially people might make fun of it, but I think at the end of the day, you have a team that's going to support it. Like, we are people who don't support healthy, they're not healthy. That's just kind of my vibe. And people who give you business tips on what we're doing, and if they've never done it before, I don't really want their advice. Morgan, you're amazing. How many of you all love that so much? Like that, I literally took so many notes. If you guys can like wave your hands around so she can see that. Yay! So good. I love you. I'm so grateful you said yes. I'm so glad you're a part of this journey with me. Lauren Lundberg, she is in 3-star qual with her team. They're shooting for premiere. She is a Success Club All-Star, and she was not my coach originally. She was one of my coaches, and then my coach quit, and then Lauren became, I became her sponsor. And the coolest thing about Lauren, she was my first person anywhere in my downline to be doing anything. And it took so long to get someone like that. And I just like took her under my wing, and I didn't know what I was doing. I think I was a new Emerald coach, and I don't think she knew that at the time. But I acted like, oh my gosh, like we have the most powerhouse team ever. And it was just Lauren and I for so long. So Lauren, are you there? I don't know where you are.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I had to get on my phone because my computer. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my computer kept cutting out, and so I was like, all right, we'll be safe and just do this on my phone. So, all right. Well, okay, I kind of want to talk about the behind the scenes type of work, the type of work that you may not see other coaches doing who are maybe are hitting Success Club or moving forward in their business, because it really is what, like, I'm going to go off what Morgan said here. You definitely have to be in someone's mind. You have to show people that you are reliable and that they can trust you. So it is so important for you to be consistent in your newsfeed, in your stories, all of that. If you break that, you have to earn that trust back. Not saying that you can't do that, but I work really hard to stay consistent on social media so that when I do the behind the scenes work, those people they're already thinking of me as someone who can help them with something. So, the first thing that I want to say is that you have to track your conversations. You guys, the months that I feel like I'm in a funk and Success Club is hard, it's as a result of not keeping track of the conversations that I'm having, or not having enough conversations or connections, not inviting to the opportunity enough, doing a call to action, whether that's in my posts or that's in my polls on Instagram stories. So I've kind of developed some systems that help me stay consistent with those behind the scenes things. So first and foremost, tracking. Okay, I'm going to show you this. It is not pretty. Like, this is an old notebook. Literally, this was Caleb's when he was like probably in second grade, just learning how to write, all of that. There are notes in there that he wrote about going snowboarding, and I love it. But anyways, I just want to show you this. I don't know how well you can see that. Maybe I should change my screen so I can see. This is what my tracking looks like. This is one page of like invites. These are people I have talked to before. I have separate sections in here of people who have shown interest. I make a list of those people so that come Thursday this week, I've already been following up with these people, but come Thursday, I know that Friday's the last day of the month. I am going to be reaching out to every single person on this list who told me they were interested and say, hey, tomorrow is the last day of this sale. I really don't want you to miss out. Are you still interested in doing this? So a lot of people recently, they have been, people love sales. If you can let them know the value of that sale, I don't know, $20 off doesn't sound like a lot when it's over $100, but if you can break down the value, and what I've been doing recently is just saying like, hey, it's $100 for the streaming for an entire year. How much would you pay for a gym membership? So most people would want to tell you at that point, like, I'll just take the streaming. But listen, you're telling me you're tight on money. I want you to understand this a little bit better. $40 for a month's supply of Shakeology. That's $1.33 per day. That's going to save you money next month. So, and then I tell them, like, you know, if you want to continue on after that, because I promise you, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to want to keep going. If $4 a day is too expensive for you, I can help you get 25% off, and you'll get it for $3 a day, just like me. So letting them see the value, what they're going to, my wording on that. Which part, Julianne?
Oh, Cody was just talking about it. I was like, Cody, share your wording. Basically what you're saying, but I just keep going.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm on my phone, so it's hard to see. I'll wait till the end to see those. Okay. All right. So I have all those conversations. I'm seeing who is telling me no, who's ghosting me. And I need you to understand right now, if you've never heard this, no means not right now. And sometimes when they say no, it doesn't even mean no. You have to ask them why. Be confident enough to ask them what's holding them back this month. Because if it's, usually if it's time, or if it's something like the finances I was just talking about, like you can let them know a different solution, or let them see how they can figure out a 20-minute time period to get a workout in, or 30 minutes, or lift 4 days a week. Can we pick out 4 days a week in your schedule? So I was joking with Kayla before this. I'm like, I want to say something about no doesn't always mean no, but that's only for coaching. Okay, so tracking, super important. Write down the names of people who said not this month so you can follow up with them next month. All right, so I've started doing these little power hours, and I have graphics if you want me to share them, but I have a process that I follow Monday through Thursday. I've not created Friday through Sunday yet, but it's very specific on what I'm doing on Instagram, what I'm posting about. If it's Transformation Tuesday, Wednesday I go in and share my teammates' transformations in my story, so I can share that with all of you. But one of the things that I found in my daily tracker hour is that doing thank yous a few times a week is such a great way to turn that into an invite. So what I'll do is, if I see someone watching, I'll go through and spend like a 15 to 20 minute chunk of time and just go through either Instagram stories of people who are watching, or look at people who are liking my posts and just send them a message that says something like, hey, Larissa, I just wanted to say thank you for the love on my post. I love being able to share my transformation to help show other people that they can do this too. Would you ever be interested in joining me on the journey? So, and I like that wording because it's really open-ended. Like, it could be meaning journey for coaching, or it could be journey as a challenger. So, and honestly, I've started doing that, the gifts. If they don't respond, I'll just like do like little peeking gifts. They're so funny. And usually some people won't respond. I'm like, all right, cool. They're probably not my tribe. No worries. But it's kind of fun. And a lot of people will start laughing back. And I'm like, all right, cool. The next part is I always have at least 5 messages in my inbox every day when I go to work. So if you're feeling like there's not momentum, you need to check your inbox. Do a gut check. Who are you talking to? You have to be reaching out to people. You cannot depend on your posts or your stories to do the work for you. Those are just like little sneak peeks. Those are breadcrumbs for people to get an idea of what you do. And most of the time, they're not even like considering themselves as you're doing that. They're just watching you and they're like, oh, that's cool. But they really don't take the time. We just live in such a fast-paced world that they're on to the next thing as soon as your stories are over, or they're scrolling to the next post. So you have to do those behind-the-scenes comments. So, and those thank yous are a great way. If you're nervous to reach out to people and invite them, that's a really easy way to do that. Follow-ups are huge. If you didn't see, Julianne posted a really interesting graphic the other day, which is spot on because, I'm going to be really honest here. This last month, like Julianne said, our team is pushing for Premier. And so I'm going back deep into my inbox of anyone who's ever showed any interest in programs or anything. And I remember when 80 Day Obsession came out, I sent out so many emails because people were so interested in that program. And this month, I have been sending out messages about No Excuse November. I've been promoting the fundraiser that I'm doing for March of Dimes. And I have to say, it was really embarrassing to see how many people I didn't follow up with. Because when you type in that person's email, you can see how many messages are there. And like, it was embarrassing looking back from now till January, how many times I've connected with those people. So, and that's not the end. Like that's just a gap. the way that I'm looking at it. Like, it's not over. So I'm reconnecting with those people, letting them know I'm here to support them. And chances are it's probably going to take 6 more emails for them to say yes. So that's why follow-up is so important. I can't tell you how many people I'm having conversations with right now that are like, yes, I want to do it, but they haven't ordered yet. So you have to follow up with them and make sure that they know when your group is starting and when the sale is ending, whatever it is, but you have to follow up with them and let them know when the deadline is. So, okay. And then the next thing is time savers. You have to have tools in place. If you are serious about creating a business, even if it's a side hustle business, I cannot tell you, man, I feel like I'm saying that a lot. I cannot tell you, I'm fired up right now. I want to say it was about 2 years into my business, I read a book, Sell or Be Sold. And that book lit a fire in me. And I realized that 1, I wasn't talking to enough people, and 2, that I wasn't talking confidently to those people. So I had to come up with some tools that kind of did that for me. And it was still me speaking, but those tools are already there. So it's not me constantly having to have those conversations over the details of a challenge group or what the new Transform 20 program is going to be about. Because when I started, it was this back and forth conversation in Messenger and chat. And man, that could take a good 30 minutes just with one person. And so I started putting these time saver tools together, like a Wufoo form, where you'd ask people questions about their goals. So if they comment or tell you that they're interested in something, I'd send in this form. Now, when you do this, make sure you write their name down, because chances are they're going to fill out the form. You're going to respond to them and they might not get back to you. So you need to put them in your list so that you can make sure to go back to that. You can use canned responses or a PDF packet to talk about your upcoming group or a new program. I really like using Canva and doing a PDF. I've used it for every launch, 80-day obsession, Lift 4. I have one now for coaching, which it's so slick. It just makes inviting so much easier. And I feel with having those tools, I'm going to invite. If I didn't have those tools, how many of you feel like that? How many of you know you're supposed to invite, but you're just like, I just don't know what I would say to them if they said they were interested. Like, it seems like a lot of work. I'd have to train them. I'd have to, do all this stuff. And I just don't know if I feel qualified to do that. So if that's you, what I would recommend doing is create a tool so that it's so much easier for you to invite. So I will share. I'm pretty good about sharing in here. You could probably look in the files tabs in any of the groups, and I've probably shared a tool that I use. But if you have like a specific one, tell me what that, like, I can help you out. Just send me a message or post in the team page and I will help out. But on my next to-do list is making a packet for Transform 20. That's what I do on the weekends, you guys. During the week, I get my behind the scenes work done. And on the weekends, I get up early and I make my tools. The other tool that I use is MailChimp. It's amazing for newsletters. I have 2 lists. I have one for current customers, and I have a list for potential customers. So think about all the exposures potential customers are getting from me. They're seeing me on Facebook. They're seeing me on Instagram stories. They're getting follow-up emails from me. They're getting MailChimp newsletters from me in their email. And then the last thing that I want to say here is that I found that reaching out on multiple platforms is what you need to do. Like, I don't know, I'm not an email person, so I found that a lot of my people aren't email people. So it's a great way for me to send tools out with email. But a lot of times I won't get responses, and so I will connect with them on Instagram. Am I frozen?
You were for a second, but you're back.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I was just saying that I'm good. Okay. Sorry. Welcome to Iowa. I was just saying that if you are reaching out to someone in an email and they don't respond, don't feel bad about reaching out to them on the platform you connected with them on and send them a message there. So that is what I have.
Okay. All I wrote down besides a page of notes is boss. And for those, like, boss in the sense of time efficiency, maximizing success and minimizing time. For those of you who say you don't have a lot of time, you just heard, I heard like 7 different tools you can use. For example, Transform 20 sneak peek. When you don't know what to say, you get people in that sneak peek. When you don't know what to say about coaching, you ask the person to want to coach, and then they're like, yeah, what's more information? And I remember 4.5 years ago being like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to say now. Like, I got the guts to ask this person. I would put them in a sneak peek. So utilize the tools we've already created for you, and then throughout time, you can start making your own tools. So a big tool for me that I always use is that I always create a getting started video. I hated creating videos, but I wanted success more. I felt very uncomfortable with videos, but I wanted success more. So I was willing to do it, and I did it. And let me tell you, my getting started video has saved me stress, time, and all these things. When people say, how do I get started? I send them this video. You can send it in a DM, you can send it in an email, you can send it in a Facebook message, you can send it in a text, you can send it anywhere. So you can even make videos, like however you like getting your information. I'm not a big text person, so just tell me the price kind of person. You know what I mean? Get to the point kind of person. Lauren just shared phenomenal tools, and the coolest part is some of you are hearing this for the very first time. And it is all in our team page. In our coach training, if you go to coach training, if you go to Happy and Fit, and in the little search tool, you go coach training, a coach training is going to pop up. You're going to click access, and then that's when you're going to learn about these things we're talking about. None of this is just like kind of like thrown in the air. We have systems in place to help teach you these tools. So we will help you alongside that. And if you go to my YouTube, there's tools and resources to teach you how to do this as well. Take a deep breath. It's so awesome. Lauren, you're a freaking boss, dude. Like, no wonder you've had so much success. It's because I used to be that person where it's like, I would either word vomit or I don't know what to say. So what I would do is I would spend 1 power hour getting all of the information into a document or a video or an email and be like, okay, that's done. Now game on. I'm going to talk to people about this. When they want more information, I'm not trying to scramble. I'm not trying to figure out what to say. I have a funnel system. I know exactly where to take them. And that's what we mean, is that you sit down one day and you make your resource, and then you give them the information. When you're talking about challenge groups, coaching should always be an option. This team is transformational. This team, there are more transformations on this team than not on it. This is where the inspiration is. This is where the family-like feel is. This is where the consistency is. This is where the dreaming bigger is. Lauren, you're awesome. Thank you. I love you. Okay, I'm going to try to get through this. And I just have to say, I'm probably going to cry about it. So as I was thinking today, I went and got all of my notebooks that I've ever had in the last 4.5 years of coaching. These are completely filled. And I'm going to take you on a journey to how I got here, because Lauren was a beginner, Morgan was a beginner, and I was a beginner. We had 0 downline. We had 0 idea. In fact, when those 2 joined me, even Morgan 1.5 years into coaching, I still had no idea what I was doing, but I just believed I could figure it out. So I'm going to share with you what I've done to feel so confident and have so much belief in what we're doing. A little bit about me is I started this 4.5 years ago. I retired myself at the age of 26 and took a leap that I believed in so much. That next year, we went elite for the first time. Top 100. It was incredible. And then I've just built massive momentum and belief. The coolest part, though, is being able to introduce Morgan and Lauren. That it's not just me fighting for dreams anymore, it's all of you. And that is the goal. And so there are so many successful people on this team, whether it's business-wise, transformation-wise, mindset-wise, job-wise, whatever it is, that is what I'm so proud of when I dreamt up of Team Happy and Fit. So as I was looking through my notebook, this came up. And if you can see, does anyone know what this is? It's a green ribbon. Does anyone know what this is? What is it? And if you notice about this green ribbon, it's turned inside out because I was effing pissed. This is an emerald ribbon. This is my notebook from Summit. Now, the thing you don't know is that emerald didn't piss me off. Emerald is the goal to go for. If you need a goal right now, go emerald. But the reason that this is not on a lanyard and the reason this is in the back of my notebook flipped over is because I was so mad. I was an emerald coach for 1.5 years, and my goal was to be diamond at Summit, and I didn't hit it. I didn't even want to wear this. It's not that emerald's bad. It's not. It's, in fact, so good. It helped build so much of my business. But I knew, and I was so hungry for more. I didn't want to stop at a goal. I wanted to keep on going. That is how angry I was about this. And I don't think a lot of us get angry about this. I think we get complacent and consistent, and we play it small. But me, I was sitting in the back of a room at Team Rockstar Fit Day saying, I am going to be on that stage next year. And I was. Actually, I wasn't. I missed another goal that next year. And then I learned a lesson. Am I always going to be unhappy at Summit? No, I'm not. I'm going to continue to grow. I wasn't on stage that next year. That's even better. It took me 2 years to get on that stage. I didn't even hit it that next year. But this is how mad I was. Are you mad about complacency? I am. So I saw that and it made me so happy. This is a notebook that I had from years ago. And if I just file through these are names, both sided. Names of expanding my network, starting new conversations. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. If you just look, it just keeps going. It keeps going. So many people talk about how do I expand my network? Who do I talk to? And me, I just got to work. I didn't ask questions. I just figured it out and failed freaking forward. I'm coming at you real and raw because so many people wish for it and I just did it. Because I look back and I'm like, how in the hell did I do it? Like, what is it? Like, what is it? And then I'm like, oh, you just massively talked to people and had massive belief. So I'm going to list to you my daily practices that I started with. And if I go back to my very first notebook that I ever created, and had, I signed up on the May 19th. Right there. I signed up May 19th. I got added to all these groups, all these Beachbody groups. I was so confused. I was overwhelmed. And so I just started writing it down. Team Rockstar Fit, Team Fit and Free. That's my upline coach. I didn't even know Sarah Morrison. I was like, okay. And then I was like, Team We Get Fit. That was my original upline's page that is no longer here because she's no longer here. I didn't even know that it was a thing. But I got added to all these pages, got welcomed to all these pages, didn't know what was going on. But instead of just being like, I'm overwhelmed, I just wrote it down and then I got to work. I planned my very first challenge. It was going to be a 21-day eating challenge and it was going to end on June 8th. I just wrote it down. I just got to work. The coolest part, the first thing in my first ever notebook, it says Rock the Business, Rock the Basics 1.0. The date, May 20th. I started on May 19th. I got to work. We have a training that is available to you and so many people don't finish it. I guarantee most people don't take notes on it. This entire notebook is every day of the training, everything I've written down in there. That's how I got started. Okay, I invited to my first group the first month as a coach. It sucked, but I did it. I didn't even know what a challenge group was. I had never been a part of one, but I figured it out. The cool part about you guys is that we have Transform 20 and it's already set up for you. We already have my favorite things. All you have to do is get people in there and they have to just be a part of Happy and Fit to get in. Like, you have access to groups that are already going. You could even go to the team page and say, hey, is anyone starting a group? I would love to partner up with you. I didn't because I didn't know anyone. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to do it myself. I participated in Rock the Basics back then, but now it's Rock the Business. And if it's just coach training, if you were just to go look that up. And I finished it and I took notes. I had Beachbody notebooks. I took notes on every single Zoom I was on. Today, these are my notes from Morgan and Lauren today. Just saying. And I've known them and I've been with them in this journey, and that's how much I learned from them today. So cool. I attended weekly and monthly Zooms. I never missed, and if I did, I watched the recording. I know that This Is Us plays tonight. I know that. Like, I know that This Is Us, and I could have changed the team call a couple years ago, but I didn't. I was just like, people are going to show up if they want to show up, right? I added 10 new friends a day. I didn't care if I knew them or not. If they asked how I knew them, I would just be like, I just want to spread more positivity. If they cussed me out, they cussed me out. They really didn't. They just didn't accept me, okay? However, me expanding my network built this team. If I didn't expand my network, this team wouldn't be here. I had an inbox goal daily, and I heard Lauren say that. Every single day when I first started off, I remember my mentor, Sarah, saying, yeah, I have an inbox goal of 25. I was like, whoa, that's a lot. I'm going to go with 5. I'm going to go with 5. Every morning when I wake up, I'm going to have 5 inbox messages waiting for me. And now, if you look at my Instagram, there's at least 10. If you look at my Facebook, there's probably over 25. That accumulated. But I started with 5. I knew I was having enough conversations if I had at least 5 waiting for me. I posted about my workouts daily. I had a challenge group every single month. I knew the start date, and I always had something to invite to. I didn't wing this. You guys, I was 25 or 35 pounds overweight. I had never finished a program. I hadn't even tried Shakeology. I didn't know anything, but this is what I did to get started. I didn't have like all this knowledge of Beachbody. I thought it was you got fit on a beach, but this is what I did. I post call to actions. I probably looked really salesy back then. I followed a tracker. Here's my tracker from today. Here's my tracker from yesterday. Here are my notes from a call today that I was on. I practice what I preach. I went to YouTube. What in the heck is a Beachbody tracker? What is Success Club? What's a challenge pack? What's Emeralds? How do I expand my network? How do I start a challenge group? What is the challenge group? What is challenge group content? Google and YouTube were my best teachers. I decided to hit Success Club no matter what 3 months in, and now I've hit it 53 months in a row. I wanted to add 2 coaches to my tribe because I knew the tribe was my ultimate goal. I knew that if I wanted to hang out with people on vacation, it would be my tribe and not my challenge group. I knew if I wanted to travel the world, it would be with my tribe. I knew if I was going to share a pregnancy announcement before any public post, it would be within my tribe. And that's true. I was really coachable. And I implemented new ideas. I didn't think that I had it all figured out. I still don't. I'm not going to walk around thinking my stuff doesn't stink and I'm the best. I'm going to walk around and be the biggest student. And by the way, over these last 3 years, there are many times I've had to ask other people to give me shout outs, or actually they've asked me if they wanted them to give me a shout out for a goal I hit because my sponsor was never around. It's not about the shout outs. It's just about getting to work. I don't work based off shout outs. I work based off because I like helping people and being successful. I didn't let any of those things get into my way. I wished people happy birthday. I always made my vitals a priority. Kamaya, I saw that you wrote that. or Kara, I can't remember which one. I went to live events. My first one was a Super Saturday. I was a brand new Emerald coach. And I remember seeing all these diamond coaches, all these diamond meaning two, people stand up being like, whoa, that's amazing. That's going to be me someday. I followed up with everyone all the time. Girl, you've got to do this. So many of you I have followed up with because I believed in you. I followed up with you relentlessly after all of your no's, after all of your ignores, after all of your doubt. I continued to follow up with you because I knew what this would do for you. I listened to, and I still do, to every national wake-up call. I spent more time in my inbox, that was Kara, and connecting with people. I asked a group of leaders, what did you do when you first started running this business? And so much of our answers were the same. I posted on a team page to get answers and went to Google. I didn't wait for my sponsor. I never had one-on-ones with anyone. I never had any access to that. I just got to work because I used YouTube and Google and the team was not happy and fit. The team was a bunch of people I had no idea who they were. But I thought maybe they would know the answers. And I wouldn't wait to get the answer. I would go to Google. So these are my thoughts that I wrote down after going through all these notes. If someone tells you no, give them a recipe. Give them some kind of value. If someone tells you no, give them some kind of sugar detox tip, right? Give them a positive quote. Send them some kind of value after every time they tell you no. Your success is connected to stories. Stop accumulating so much knowledge, put your brakes on the knowledge, and just apply the knowledge. So many times we're trying to absorb, how do I expand my network? How do I expand my network? And we never actually expand our network. Stay on for a couple more minutes, please. I promise to limit my association with people who don't bring out my best self. That is something I wrote down in a training. I promise to limit my association with people who don't bring out my best self. Because I had people making fun of me when I did this. I had people telling me I wasn't qualified. I had someone specifically say, you shouldn't be doing this because you didn't go to school for it. And then I thought, I know how to connect with people, and you're having a hard time doing that. I can be good at this. Never stop asking yourself how to take it to the next level. That is how I've gotten here. We're about to be a 3-time elite team. It's because I've always wanted to go to the next level. Not because of the accolades, not because of what's connected to the name, but it's because I know what it represents, and I love being a hard worker. I will never settle. You will always see me in the trenches, not because I want to spend millions of hours doing this, but because I just want to massively impact people. I started this as a full-time teacher. I didn't have a lot of time. It's not about having a lot of time. It's about when you decide to do this, maximizing your success with the time that you have. To dream big is a matter of choice. To reach that dream is a matter of discipline. That gives me chills. I'm gonna start crying. You are not responsible for your coach's success. Can you please just free yourself of that? You are not responsible for your challenger's success. Your belief in them is enough. You are not responsible. I've had so many people quit. That's on them. I might not have always said the right thing or been there enough for them, but that's not on me. Are you dreaming big about your business? So many of us are so afraid to invite to it, and I don't freaking get it. I don't get it. You're playing it small. You're playing it limited. I don't get it. If this could rely on you changing your whole future, I just think about the season I'm walking in right now. 4.5 years built this for me. Got me here. The mindset, the working out, the going through difficulties and prospering, and all these things have made me and prepared me for what's to come. And I owe that all to this journey. The answer is always no if you don't ask. Your coaches will model what they see. They will model what they see. Your success rises and falls on you. Your success rises and falls on you. You paint your future and you write your story. That's what I have. And lastly, I'm going to end with this. So in the Bible, there's the Gospels. This is good. The Gospel of Matthew was actually Peter's account. So he wrote about Peter, okay? Peter's telling him all this stuff. And then Mark is Peter's account. And then Matthew is Matthew's account. And when you look at these two gospels, if you were to look, there's very similar stories about Jesus walking on the water. There was a big storm and he's walking next to the boat. And the only difference in these two gospels is so insane. It's so minimal, and not a lot of people say that. So Peter, recounting his story to Mark, right, leaves out a very specific detail. In Matthew, the detail is there. That when the storm started happening, Peter started, when he was walking on the water, he started to sink. But for some reason, when Peter was telling Mark about this, he didn't talk about that. He just talked about that there was a storm and that he was walking on water, and then like Jesus got in the boat, but he didn't talk about the time where he lost faith, and he left out a part of his story because it was embarrassing, right? That he was struggling to believe. And what I think is interesting is that we do that with our stories, is that we leave out parts because we're embarrassed. We leave out parts because we're worried. We leave out parts because we're doubting. We leave out parts, but the thing that makes it the most significant are those pieces. And I think after these 4.5 years, I just have kept it real. I always said, I always wanted to make people think that they were right in the room with me, that they've walked this journey with me, that they've seen my heart, that they've seen my mind. And because of that, I've been able to build such solid relationships that I'm not worried about the negative people. There have been negative people, not my tribe. The things we worry about typically aren't the things that we should worry about, right? Like the negativity, what if we get no's? You focusing on that is getting in the way of something so grand and so good. And if there's any piece of advice that I could give you, is that there's no secret. It's just about getting to work. And man, signed up May 19th with an order of Shakeology, the 21-day fix that I never completed. I'm almost done with it right now. And the coach sign up fee, because I didn't know you could get that waived with the challenge pack. And then I wanted to get another order of Shakeology, so I was on 2 auto ships of Shakeology. Most people would have quit getting 2 shipments of Shakeology as a paycheck to paycheck teacher. Not me, because it wasn't that big of a deal. I don't get tripped up on things that are not a big deal. Coach relations, customer service, shipping, things that aren't working, all this stuff. Sarah Scott today said, Julianne, thanks so much for doing the Secret Santa stuff. And I was like, thank you. Like, you guys didn't trip up over all that. There are people that would, if that makes sense. I love you all. And I think what we're doing is so incredible. Like, the reason I'm getting so emotional is probably because I'm pregnant, but I just think like this has transformed and changed my life so much. It's brought the best people into my life. I believe in this so much that I'm willing to look salesy. I'm willing to look like whatever someone wants to paint a picture of, because they don't want to accept the fact that they maybe need help. I'm willing to be annoying. I'm willing to send too many emails. I'm willing to follow up too much for people to tell me to get off their mailing list, which happened yesterday 2 times. Take me off your mailing list. No problem. I will. I'm willing for people to unfriend me. I'm willing to see people quit over and over. When I was going through all my invites, all of the coaches that joined me aren't here. I was willing to go through that heartbreak of people just like, and I was like, this matters. There was nothing. I was working and getting paid 0. I just had massive belief. And now I look back and I'm like, I just had belief. sometimes we can get so accustomed to our own bullshit, and I just continue to breathe this belief into you that you need to get over it and work through it, and let's go, because this is too big, you're too great, and too many wonderful things are about to happen, like this team. And you were my dream. I thought about you always, and none of you were here. I jumped on calls that no one got on. I posted on social media. I'm going to end with this, and then I'm done, and then we're way over, but it's okay. I'm going to end with this. I don't know if any of you saw this post that I did on Instagram, but my friend Brittany Frost tagged me in it today. She said, whoa, this is so real. And I was like, dang, that was a good post. What this really takes, there's a quote, in 10 years, you'll look like an overnight success. What it really takes, hard work and not quitting, action, massive action. Even when others doubt you, even when others judge you, even when others quit. What it really takes, making another post on social media after someone mocked your last post. Pressing play on another workout even when you're exhausted and tired and just had parent-teacher conferences. Choosing to meal prep even though all you want to do is watch Netflix. Continuing to show up when you feel like no one else is. Showing up to lead a team call even when no one gets on to join you. And that was months and months and months of that. It's crazy. Reading a book that will help your business grow even though you hate reading. Declining a hangout session with some friends because you need to work this business. Trusting that you'll make an income one day even though you put in so much time to see so little reward. It's true. Jumping on business calls on holiday mornings. Continuing to have faith in your business even when others quit. Believing when no one else does. Doing the same behaviors every single day no matter what. Being resourceful and seeking solutions when you don't know the answers. Choosing to come up with 100 different game plans to make sure you follow through with getting to your goals. When life gets hard, busy, and stressful, you just show up anyway. You don't blame your circumstances, you choose to grow through them. That's what it really takes. Hard work, action, and belief, and not quitting. Besides your excuses, quit that. And then you can look back in complete awe. You built something from nothing. You took a leap when others doubted. You started this paycheck to paycheck. You were overweight and unhealthy. You did it anyway. You knew you could figure it out. Not because you have more talent, but because of your work ethic and your love and your trust and belief in this, because it is so unwavering, you guys, that I will believe in this more and more and more each and every single day. And what keeps me going are your transformations, are your shout outs. I saw Morgan Schaefer shouting out Carrie, and I was like, all the love in the whole world. Carrie's not even in Morgan's downline, and it doesn't matter because they're friends. Isn't that freaking awesome? It's so cool. All the freaking emotions and tears and